Hi everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Taylor with Jenny. And if today is the first one stopping by, please don't make it your last by hitting subscription button and turn on notification bell to get notified when I post new videos online. I'll be posting new contents here at least once in a week. So you're welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, you are a subscriber currently. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for coming back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to make these draped sleeves with a flare. I'll be making use of 720 degrees flare for mine, and it will be a top, or a blouse, whichever way you want to call it. So if that's something you're so much interested in watching, do not skip any part of the video. Watch to the end because it is very, very important. Thank you. And give me a thumbs up, please. Leave a thumbs up and a comment in the comment section what you feel about the video and what you think about the video. And let's hop onto the tutorial right away. So these are materials we'll be using: a lining for it. We have a chiffon material. These are black chiffon that I got. This is an airstay, and this is the fabric I'll be using for this. I use 1.5 yard for my size. So these are the materials you need: the scissors, the tape, your ruler for drafting, and pattern paper. So I'm going to start by drafting it. I went ahead to mark my shoulder measurements divided by 4 by 2, sorry. Then I marked my bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. That's for my armhole depth. I went ahead to mark my chest, my bust point, my under bust, and my waistline. That's the mark I am doing currently. And I'm going to connect the dots with my straight ruler. So after I was done marking that, I'm going to go ahead to label it so as not to confuse us while marking our measurements. The next thing to mark your neck width. Whatever neck width you decide to work with is fine. And a neck depth of 6.5 inches. That is what I worked with. So if you want yours to be 7 inches, 7.5, it is fine by you. So I'm going to connect it as a slant. Then the next thing is to come down for my shoulder slope. My shoulder slope is usually 1.5 for the front. I'll go up by 2.5 inches and go in by half an inch on that point and mark. This is to mark my armhole curve. I also went ahead to connect my neck width to my shoulder slope. So this is me trying to form my armhole line. So if you don't have a curve rule, you can use your hand to draft it. I went ahead to mark my bust divided by 4 and my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for the dart. I connected it with a straight ruler. Then I went ahead to mark my nipple to nipple measurement up to the bust point. I'm going to connect with a straight ruler like that. Then mark my darts half inch on both sides of my nipple to nipple line on my waistline. So that's it. And the next thing is to measure out my under bust measurement. The remaining part I'll divide it into two. Then I say into three, one part on the center front and two of the divisions on the side front. So I'm going to connect with a straight ruler to the waistline. And with my curve ruler, I'm going to make my busts curve like that. So use your curve ruler and make your bust curve. When I've not gotten this curve ruler, I used to use my hand, freehand method. So whatever method you can, make use of it. So you have to blend all the areas. It is very, very important. I'm going to find my shoulder midpoint and connect it straight to the bust point so as to tighten my under bust. So I'm going to use my neck depth as my as a slant. From my neck depth, I'm going to slant it to my armhole. So from there, I will now tighten my over bust. So I'm going to tighten with half an inch on both sides. You can go ahead to do 1 inch, but it depends on your size. So I'll use half an inch for my size. Sometimes I use 1 inch and it still works perfectly. So for me, so I'm going to go ahead to mark my the difference between my front and the back waistline, which is 2 inches, which I'm going to use as my side dart. I will also go ahead to cut out half an inch there to eliminate sagging. So this is optional, you can just leave it that way, but I like mine tight and it came out very, very tight. So the next thing is to connect the darts for the overbust up to the shoulder line, and I'm going to close up that place. But before I cut it out, I will make sure I measure it and be sure that I have no place that will run short. But even at that, I still run short of something. So to close the side dart, I'll open up the shoulder dart and I'll go ahead to close the side dart. Look at how I am doing it from up to down. Then I'll use my curve rule to blend that bust area so it will not come out pointy. Then after that, I'll go ahead to fill up the excesses at the side. So you can connect it straight to the waist and shape it at the end of the day, or connect it to the under bust directly, just like I did. I don't have to start shaping at the end of the day. So that is it for here. You now have to go ahead and cut the patterns. So watch how I cut and where I cut from. I'm cutting from the half-inch allowance I came down with for the neck depth because I do not want it to gape. So this is me cutting out the pieces so that I will know the one I need and the one I do not need. So after that, I'm going to tape it and label. So that's the side center front and the side front, and this is the yoke. So I'll go ahead to draft for the back. I'll measure out my back length, back waist length. Go ahead and connect it. Then that will serve as my shoulder line. I'm going to mark 1 inch on my shoulder line and 2 inches on my waistline. I will tell you why later. Anyway, it is eliminate zipper bulge. So that one comes in. I'm going to retake 1 inch there for my zipper allowance. And my zipper allowance is now complete from the shoulder to the waistline. So that's it for my zipper allowance. Then from that line, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. And I'll come down for my armhole depth. Then from that point, do not measure from the slanted line. Just watch carefully what I am doing. From the beginning, I'm going to mark 8 inches instead of 7 inches, and it's because of the 1 inch for the zipper line. So I'm going to take 10 inches instead of 9 inches for my bust line, come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, find the midpoint of my armhole, and curve it straight to the 9 inches that I marked earlier. Now I'm going to take my waist circumference divided by 4 and mark. Then the next is to take your neck width 3 inches, just as we did for the front, and I came down by 7.5. You can make yours 8 or 9 inches, depending on what you want to work with. So I worked with 7.5, and I'm going to connect it to a straight ruler like that and slant my neck depth. Also, go ahead to connect my shoulder slope. And I'll remove 0.25 there to eliminate gaping for the back. So that is it for the back, and I'm going to go ahead to label and cut out. So if you watch carefully what I am doing, you will get exactly my results. So you have the yoke and the main pattern. I'll go ahead to measure the length of the back yoke and the length of the front yoke. That's the depth of the front and the depth of the back neckline. So whatever it is you have, you add them together, and we are going to use it later. So I have 14.25 and I've written it down. I'm going to make use of it later, and I'll show you when. So the next thing is to cut out place the pattern on your fabric and cut out everything, just like you've cut out the pieces. And that's for the flay, 720 degrees flay. I'll upload a tutorial on how to cut that flay later on. So I then have an inch on the top of my bust, 2 inches for the side joining. So whatever it is you want to join with at the side, half an inch on the top and half an inch on the waistline. So that is how I added my allowances for joining. I also went ahead to cut the lining piece the same exact thing, and also I applied my cloth gum on it to make it a bit strong. So this is it, and I've also gone ahead to cut the bustier pad. So I went ahead to cut the bust pad, and this is it in total. I'll now show you how to join. You will get the side front and the center front and join both of them right sides facing each other. What I was showing you was you can go ahead to cut your bust foam, whatever it is that you're using. Go ahead to cut by 1 inch or half an inch on that area so that it will not be bulky or heavy on that area. But I did not do it. It is optional. I will still cut it out later on. So after joining it, you can see how it was standing. So this is me trying to know which is the side and which is the center part. So with that, I am going to go ahead to join it. Can you see how standing the bustier is? Very good. Then I'll go ahead to place the right sides facing each other and join with the 2 inches allowance I added at the side of my top. Now after joining, this is what I have. I'll go ahead to give it a good press. After giving it a good press, you find the midpoint, place it, make sure they are equally placed together. Then find the midpoint at the bust area and mark. So I'm going to measure it out for my yoke. Remember, we've not cut out the yoke. I'm going to use that black chiffon for the yoke. So whatever it is that you got from here, from the center front to the side joining, multiply it by 3 for your yoke. So that will be the length of my yoke, and I folded it into 2. So I have 2 patterns for the yoke here. One is for the both sides. One is for one side, the other one is for the other hand. So I folded it into 2 and the other one into 2 also, which means I have 2 folds for my sleeve here. And I'll also go ahead to measure out, show you the measurement of what I used. So measuring these two out, what we got was 14.25. I approximated it to 14.5 and added 1 inch, making it 15.5 for the join, because I will join it to the body of my blouse. So after that, I'll go ahead to join the sides by 1/2 inch to make it one piece. After I was done joining, or after you are done joining yours, give it a good press and make sure you measure it out, so that you'll be very very sure of what you are joining. Then I'll get my bustier and place it. The center part, the joining should be at the center part and also inside. Look at how I'm placing it, so that by the time I wear it, the joining will not show on the outer part, but it will be fixed on the inner part. So you use your pin to pin it down, pin the other part also to the side like that, pin like that, and you're going to drape. We are going to gather it there. Then you turn the other part also at that side joining, just like I am doing. Pin it down, get the other part for the front and pin on after marking 1 inch for your zipper line. Remember we have zipper allowance there, so you mark the 1 inch or whatever allowance you have for your zipper, and then you place the other parts of the sleeve there and join. Then you get your flare, place it right sides facing each other. I've not turned the flare, I just applied my cloth gum on it and join with 1/2 inch. So after joining it, you now have a full piece. Please make sure you add your zipper allowance, your zipper, sew in your zipper after joining everything. Then I'm going to place the lining piece on it. I came up by 1/2 inch on that area because I'll be turning the flare. So go up by 1/2 inch so that when you try joining the flare, it will not disturb the zip. So go ahead and place the lining right sides facing each other to the fabric, to the main piece, and join with 1/2 inch. So you can see it, give it a good press, and this is what we have. Go ahead to now fold in or turn in the flare just like I am doing. Flip it like that and join with 1/2 inch. Remember to go up with 1/2 inch while joining your zipper, or while inserting your zipper. Make sure you go up by 1/2 inch, then you join. After that, go ahead to sew in the lining piece close as possible to the zipper line. I also went ahead to add my hemming gun to make that place strong. So if you look closely at that place, I joined the lining to the main fabric as close as possible to the zipper line. Join as close as possible to the zipper line. Then you open up one part of it, rip it open, and turn everything inside out. So I'm just showing you what I did, or how I did to enclose the zipper part. So I'm going to open up that part and turn everything inside out, bring everything out. So at this point, you have to be very, very careful so you don't extend the uh, the loose that the stitch you used. So you don't open it wide. Give it a good press, a very good press with your steaming iron or a dry iron. Sprinkle water on your fabric and iron. So that is it for this tutorial, and this is the outcome of the tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and if it was, please give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. And let's see you in my next video. Bye bye.